Hi everyone, it's Sierra Rosebuds, and this topic is going to be on abortion. Every time I start talking about abortion, I make some kind of face that's like, shit. Because it is an extremely touchy subject for everybody, whether you're pro-abortion or anti-abortion. But this, I haven't heard anybody, I'm not keeping up with anything, but I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Not abortion, but why it should be legal. Then again, I haven't read anything. I haven't seen any videos on anyone who's anti-abortion or pro-abortion. I'm basing all of my information that I know on conversations that I've had with other people. Like actual conversations. Not just, oh, I'm going to go online and see what this person says. Like, no, if it happens to come up in a conversation, then it turns into a debate, I guess. Anyway, I am for abortion, and I love life. I'm not for abortion for the fuck of it. I don't think it should be used as like, oh, I'm 17 and I got pregnant before I wanted to. I'm gonna go have an abortion. No, fuck you. You're the one who was stupid and probably got fucking shit-faced and decided not to use a fucking rubber. Like, you own up to your responsibilities. Suffer the consequences. But say you are a woman who is walking home after work, 10, 11 at night, or whenever, and you are blindsided and you get raped brutally. Like fucking gang raped or, any kind of rape, really. Should we really be denying you the right to get rid of this reminder of the most traumatic day of your life? Or the second most traumatic day of your life, depending on what kind of life you live? Do we really have a say in making this woman, so to speak, suffer for the rest of her life? It's not the child's fault at all. But at the same time, do we really want someone who's mentally unstable taking care of this child? That brings me to my other argument. Sore throat. I know a lot of females who are completely incompetent as mothers, or would be completely incompetent as mothers. They should be able to have abortions because they are ruining an innocent life. Not just killing it, they are allowing it to suffer for a long period of time. Now that is fucking wrong. That is fucking wrong. That person could grow up to be something like, how can I put this? Say the mother screams and curses and throws things and just belittles her child. That child is going to grow up suffering. It's going to live in torment until something happens, or if anything does happen. They will constantly feel like crap. They'll feel guilty, blame themselves for everything because clearly it's their fault. And they might even end up committing suicide because some families are fucked up. Do we really have any authority on whether or not these women should get an abortion? Now, when I brought up, some 17-year-old bitch getting pregnant, maybe she's incredibly incompetent. My dad brought this up. He brought up, well, that's why adoption exists. This is true, but even with adoption, if your mother was doing crack during her pregnancy with you, you're still going to be a crack baby. Even if you're adopted. I was going to say aborted. You're still going to be a crack baby, and you're going to have withdrawal symptoms. Now, another thing. If someone is to get an abortion, there should be a test and a background check to make sure that it is a good decision. Say that this 17-year-old was just drinking a lot and she comes from a upper middle class family. They have a lot of money and she's, pretty much on the verge of graduating high school, but nothing else is wrong. She shouldn't be allowed to have an abortion. She should pay for her stupid actions. That is her fault. At the same time, a lot of young mothers, they don't raise their children. They depend on their mothers to raise their children for them. I don't want to say that's like my mother, because my mother wasn't 17 when she was pregnant with any of us. But, a lot of the time, my grandmother was the one who was raising us. So, I respect, I don't want to say that, but I do. I respect my grandmother more than I respect my own mother. Because she's been the one to, be there for me, and she wasn't, she wouldn't yell at us. She would get excited and talk loud, but she wouldn't yell at us or anything. She wouldn't expect us to do stuff for her, be her slaves pretty much. Anyway, I think if someone has a history of drugs, has been raped, or is mentally completely unstable, they should have full access to abortion. It's not fair to make a living being suffer for a prolonged period of time. And my dad, he isn't for abortion, that's killing a living creature. But it's nipping it in the bud in the sense that this creature hasn't experienced life yet. And this is where things sort of get confusing for me as well. It's something that I can't fully understand. And I think it, but 3 months into your pregnancy, I have to say 3 months is too much. 2 months tops. That thing is 2 little cells, 2 little things that can easily be scraped off. And I mean, I don't I don't want to sound like a heartless piece of shit, even though it may sound like it. But it's it's like, God, I don't want to say like a skin disease. It's like, you know, sometimes you like get those random weird warts or whatever, and you have to like freeze them off. It's kind of like one of those, except you're scraping. I don't like thinking about that either. But this, what I'm basically getting at is we also need to think about the mental well-being of this creature that we're supposedly saving, when in reality, the majority of these children who would have been aborted are being born into foster homes or being born into drug addict homes or completely dysfunctional homes. Anything like that. Or like with the rape thing. That can open so many things. That could be a woman who doesn't care about the child, you know? She took care of him as long as she needed to and then just had him rely on the streets. Or she would blame him. I've heard stories about this. She would blame him or her about her being raped. Or, you know, she would take out her post-traumatic stress disorder on the child, which it's not the kid's fault. We all know that. But do we really want to make this living creature something that is exactly like we are, living, breathing, seeing thing? Do we want to make that suffer for the rest of their lives? Do we really want to do that? Is that any more like humane than just aborting it? Like, I don't know. I really don't fucking know. That's like, I don't know. I've never like gotten a decent response from this. Anyone who I told would say, well, yeah, you know, that makes sense. At the same time, it's a living creature. That's the only response that I get from everybody. I would like a decent argument to what I have just said and give me something to think about. I don't want to be the only one making people think. Give me something to think about. So, yeah. I think I'm done right now. Bye.